Breaking news, baby dolls. Bitcoin has hit 28,000 US dollar and you are a chocolate protein shake. We have prices pumping up. This is a little 5-minute chart. It doesn't matter. If we go to the weekly, you'll see it doesn't look like much has changed. We have been in this green bull trend part. This is the super trend. You can look up how it works. It's just an ATR. It's very, very simple. We've been in this ever since we exited out of the dreaded deep bear market zone. We are still in a bear market zone. Bitcoin is pushing up. New money is coming a flood in, and it's all coming off the back of the positive news. If you recall, I've made some videos here. I've shown you that we have some news coming out from multiple sources. You had the MasterCard news. You had Deutsche Bank coming in. They got $1.5 trillion under management. You have Fidelity rumors that they might come into crypto, launch a spot ETF. They want to launch an ETF as well, apply for one. And there's rumors they want to buy GBTC out. So it doesn't even matter whether these come to fruition or not. All that matters is that they're speaking about it. This is just funny how markets work. This is why I always tell you, friends, when it's time for the market to go, it will go. It has nothing to do with any amount of news or catalyst or anything you can force. It's just when it's time, it's time. I don't know why. The time dimension in markets is nearly impossible to master. No one can ever truly master it. There are always these little blips in the matrix, if you will, that come around and kind of try to push the market where it wants to go a bit earlier than it should, and the market will just come back down and then go up later. I've seen this time and time again. I've even seen moves where we're pushing up, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're at the top of this range somehow, and then some good news comes out, we go up, we come back down, and then we're like, oh my God, it's over. But then we just go up later on. It's so confusing how this works, but don't worry about that. When you play in this little world of, ups and downs and fake outs, it's everybody trying to climb on top of each other because they all have short-term views. So all that matters is Bitcoin is at $28,000. The Bitcoin dominance is still pushing a bit higher. Ethereum is now in the background. A lot of people are now rushing into Bitcoin. Good. Let them do that. They will absolutely get crushed. Do you know what's very interesting is even with this BlackRock news coming in, it's enough to make everybody forget that we still have these looming issues. We have government selling 30,000 BTC. We have Mt. Gox to sell 140,000 BTC. Okay. You have these looming issues, right? Grayscale, GBTC discount. Okay. That's still like at a huge discount. So why would they buy it off the public market? So you have these looming issues and people have suddenly said, oh yeah, Bitcoin dominance going to the moon. Now this is very fascinating because when we see this, I've always had this looming Bitcoin sell pressure issue in my mind every day. Now, I know we can get through it and absorb, but what I wanted to show you and for you to learn here, because you're a baby doll, baby cake, and you're a yummy chocolate shake, also high in protein, I want you to see how the market, the participants, they all forget about the bad news straight away and they just move on to something else. It's because of the green candle. You see this big fat green candle? Everybody's looking at the green candle and they're looking at it and they're saying, wow, oh golly gee, all my worries have gone away. No, they haven't. Why I want you to look at this is I want you to now feel with me and see the future, because we're going to delete these now. In the future, right, around the BlackRock spot ETF, which may launch here, people will also probably forget about any bad news. They will just run in. They'll say, we don't care, BlackRock is the evil shadow man. And I'm going to show you a leaked BlackRock recruiter revealing with you just how shadowy the snake shadow men are. They're going to forget about it here. And then that's just going to be round one, because fingers crossed, if we don't get scammed and we actually have a 2025 euphoria, everybody is going to forget about the big looming issues. For example, at those prices, if Bitcoin gets to $100,000, this is something, it's going to mine 150 blocks, 450 Bitcoin per day. So if you do that per month, 13,500. If you do $100,000, that's $1.3 billion required every month just to keep the price of Bitcoin at $100,000. 1.3 billion. Now, of course, we do chew through this. People are going to say they're printing money. The money would absorb it. But these numbers, no one's going to pay attention to them at the top. Nobody. And there will be other looming issues. They will be coming up. So I want you to know that these narratives, they get forgotten. You see these bad narratives about all the Mount Gox and everybody's selling the Bitcoin and what's happening. It's all gone now just because you put a green candle in front of them. That's why if the big scam whale insiders, just like how the Chinese miners were able to do this scamming up here, if the big scamming insiders are able to just force some green candles for a 60 to 90 day period, they're able to kill it because the media news is so positive. People completely forget about the negatives. They forget about reality. It's just like when you're out at a party, it's 2 a.m. You're like, responsibilities. Who cares about those? We're going to keep drinking our room temperature orange juice, which is obviously very naughty. You have no ice cubes there and you're like, won't matter. It's room temperature. Who's watching anyway? These are the types of things you got to understand about markets. We always got to be one step ahead of the game. That's why when you try to trade short term and when you try to do this, I'm going to try front run the capitulation. When you play these games, you are on average 90% of the time, everybody is in the bell curve distribution. Everybody is within here and everybody thinks they're outside it. That's the issue. Everybody thinks they are outside of this curve, but 90% of people are. That's why on average, when you play the game like that, you get destroyed over a long enough time frame. You get one right here and there, but on average, you screw yourself up, then you disappear. Then you just become like all those ghosts who completely disappeared off the face of the earth for the past 10 years. I used to know their names and their faces. We shook hands. They placed their left hand on my right shoulder, their right hand on my left shoulder. We used to be good friends. They're all gone. Gone with the wind. All because they did not understand the power of the money supply rotating around the world and that giving you compound interest, compounding gains, long-term buy and hold. They were not having a long-term delayed gratification mindset ever. They were not going for the long-term. When you go for the long-term, you significantly increase your win rate. It doesn't become 100%, but sure as hell is better than 50%, which is the game that everybody's playing now. And of course, when people are wrong, they don't have a plan to get back in. So yes, there are people who believe the downward move is coming, but do they even have a strategy if Bitcoin goes to 30K, 32K, and then it pops up to 43? Do they have a strategy? No, they don't. All they have in their mind is we are 100% going down. I'm going to show you now BlackRock because BlackRock is in the news. This news has been coming out. Listen to these shadowy shadow men. So this is James O'Keefe. Apparently he's a guerrilla journalist here, and he also, when you see this guy looks like an actual James Bond villain. Look at this. He goes, they BlackRock don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar. So James O'Keefe is a journalist, and this guy is Serge Varley. He is a recruiter for BlackRock.
In the news, they don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it.
Isn't it funny, friends? I'm going to apply this to markets right now. It's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it. Now I bring you back to the Bitcoin chart. Wouldn't it be, quote unquote, easier to offload a lot of Bitcoin to control it when people aren't thinking about it? Or what about up here in the scam pump? Whenever we get that, wouldn't it be easier for you, like the Chinese F2 pool, the scum miners up here who were dumping on everybody, the Chinese insiders who had word from the government, who were doing insider trading that we can't control? It's just how it is. They're going to be doing all the bad stuff up that top, exiting, telling you it's going higher when no one's thinking about it. Watch, and we're going to continue. He goes through some deep, dark personal stuff here. Let's skip through.
First, there's the senators. And these guys are cheap. You got 10 grand, you can buy a senator.
So here he is talking about bribing senators, okay? And they speak about Russia, Ukraine, yada, yada. It's everything that we've basically known already. But it's very interesting when he talks about BlackRock wanting to remain in the shadows.
That's because I'm recruiting people who do these things. Mm-hmm. I'm the person who headhunts people from other firms. So I would approach you and be like, hey, this is a good reason why you should come work for us.
Serge tells.
So here you go. So obviously he's the recruiter. So there are crypto industry participants, founders and leaders. They will get a call from one of these guys' brokers or he himself. Hey, come work for it. Of course, they're probably talking, BlackRock is using Coinbase for their custody. So obviously there is some inside stuff going on. It's going to trickle into more disastrous things way later on. This is why, friends, this is why, okay, before we continue, this is why, please listen to me. Everybody believes Bitcoin 100K minimum. Minimum. Everybody believes that for the next cycle, okay? You know what this green line is? This is gold's market cap. Gold's market cap. And there will be a gold coin and a gold trophy. This is gold's market cap. Now, I know that they manipulate gold. We know this. I'm not even going to use that C word that rhymes with monspiracy. We're not even going to use that word. They 100% manipulate it. Why? Because if you were an evil genius, you do the same thing too, to protect your country's currency, okay? Now, we know gold is big enough for them to worry about. I believe there is a point where Bitcoin hits critical mass, where the government stops laughing and fighting and they hit the nuke button. I don't know what that number is, but I'm just going to guess it's towards 85 to 100,000. That's just what I feel. I feel $100,000 Bitcoin because, okay, me and you can understand market cap and valuation, but the people in government can't. And $100,000, so they would start acting the emergency before the 100,000 around here. So if Bitcoin got up here at 100,000, that will be in the media. That's 2 trillion market cap. Gold is 10 trillion. Obviously, I want us to get towards gold and then we see them scamming us, but I don't know if we're going to get that lucky. I just feel like they want to do it earlier. And why? I believe it's so they can destroy retail harder and for the government's other wings to pack their bags. This is just me, how I'm thinking. I believe you should err on the side of skepticism and caution because this will protect you on average. So, in a nutshell, they drag us up. There is a markup and then retail gets absolutely slaughtered. Retail buys this ETF. You know the ETF? Yeah, there's going to be a buy the news, sell the event here, but they're going to keep buying up here and retail is going to get destroyed. I believe in that next destruction on the way down, I believe BlackRock, because it has all the mums and dads buying, they will now have a more powerful voice to the government. They will say, this whole industry is a scam. We got to regulate it. We got to do this and that. They're going to all point the fingers. And so this is going to give the government more power. This was postulated by Da Vinci J15 many years ago. Many years ago, friends. I heard him talking about this scenario back in like 2019. I'll never forget it. And I am now expanding on this to you because it makes perfect sense. You get everybody in. Okay, let me understand how it works. This is how the government works, right? They walk with you, they hold your hand, and then they get a sledgehammer out and they break your knees, and then they give you crutches and they go, oh, see, I'm helping you. That's how governments work in all aspects of life. So the only way for them to gain more power in crypto, especially Bitcoin, which they can't call a security, is get the mum and dads in here. I'm just telling you right now. They get the mum and dads in here. The BlackRock spot ETF. This is Bitcoin halvening, which is where it's expected to launch. They keep buying up to the top. Everybody gets super bullish. And then bear market. Bitcoin does not go to 100K, 200, 300K where everyone expects. It stops at like 85 or something. Whatever it is, we come back down. And in this mess zone down here, now they have more political power. You see right now, all of us go down minus 99%. Only a few absolute dingleberries will complain. Everybody else says, we understand the game. This is it. But because we're early innovators, we understand how early we are to the industry. Everybody coming in here, they are not risk takers. They love the government, these people. They're like, oh, can't wait for the government to come and tell me what to buy. Woo! I am a chocolate protein milkshake. No, they are not. They are high in soy, high in estrogen. They have absolutely no protein left in any of their meals up here. The people buying up there. So when they get destroyed, there will be most likely political backlash. I don't know if you've heard, but also there are plans for BlackRock. They already have plans such that if they need to fork Bitcoin and make a more popular one, in case they want to change some rules to do voting and the mining and the government. I'm not even joking, okay? So this guy is obviously, he's one of the henchmen. He's talking about campaign financing. Okay, so these guys are really within it, okay? So he explains basically everything. It must have been some girl who was talking to him with his the investigations and the rumors and stuff. And baby dolls, here is another segment here. So here he is talking about BlackRock strategy. You acquire stuff, you diversify, you acquire, you keep acquiring. This is obviously why they're coming into crypto. Don't be scared. We knew about this, okay?
You spend whatever you make in acquiring.
You spend whatever you make in acquiring more, and at a certain point, your risk level is super low because it basically means you got your tentacles everywhere. Please, everybody just calm down. Remain a straight-postured baby doll, which you are, which I am too. I just want to let you know, I could see this coming 4 years ago. I was talking about everything he's talking about. I was literally talking about it within 5 seconds of me entering the industry. I'm not joking. I went and I absorbed everything. I go, okay, this is how they're going to scam it. So this is nothing new. This is not to be concerned. I just thought what they were going to do, they were going to do it earlier. That's what I thought they were going to do it earlier. But they took a bit longer and the prices were lower. That's what you can never guess. I know these are coming. I just don't know the exact prices they're going to be at. So I like this scenario because, one, we can see it coming, and two, this is the important part. Whether you believe me or not, I don't really care. You will still remain my friend. Please like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. We're always going to be friends, but you just got to understand that this is to protect you. When we go up to these tops, if you have this looming fear of the government coming in, squashing everyone down, BlackRock is the secret government puppet arm wing. They're going to try crush everybody. They're going to try get the retailers in and then dump on them. And then they're going to destroy them. Yes, if you have this skepticism, you will be one of the top 5% who are actually selling around the top. That's the most important lesson from this at all. So whether or not this is true, it might be the cosmos, unicorn, puppet master, God, aliens, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, whoever's controlling this simulation, as long as you are skeptical at the top, you will make it. There's going to be signs of thrill, optimism, euphoria. There's going to be probably another government country joining El Salvador. There's going to be all of these. There's going to be a lot of retailers coming in. JP Morgan calls for a $400,000 Bitcoin again. Whatever it is, I just want you to remember that as long as we are skeptical in this zone, we are going to make it, because we will not be in a let's buy and hold everything mindset. We will be in a let's start rotating out mindset. We will start trimming out. And because we understand this, I want you to understand too, the next phase of it would probably be an early but shorter bear market. And then we go up to the next one. This might be the extra pit stop that the governments do just to pack their bags more and to get more control and power. Don't forget, all of this is for a reason. This is why I've been telling you. It's why I don't sleep, friends, right? 18 hours a day. I literally am here. You have to get this cycle right. And you know what? I always say, hey, whatever your scenario is, just draw a scenario so that if you're wrong, you can identify where you are wrong. And here's the thing, all right? If I'm wrong, what does that mean? It means we don't stop up here. We bust up higher. Do you think that's going to happen, by the way? But okay, look, let's say it does happen. In this scenario, you've killed it anyway, because you still got like half your bag or 40% of your bag, and everything just kept going absolutely monstrously high. The whole crypto industry here is, I think, 15 trillion, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15 trillion up here for the whole crypto industry. Bitcoin dominance might be 30%. This sounds like such a la-la land. Everybody's holding hands. That I don't imagine it, but I've drawn it here anyway. I've drawn it here for you. So I want you to think about what's more likely. Here I am connecting the pieces of the puzzle together to show you this weirdo dude saying, yes, BlackRock, we're going to take over the world. We're going to bribe all the politicians. You think this little weirdo guy with his little pencil neck sitting around here, do you think what he's saying matches up with the everybody's going to win scenario, or the everybody's going to get scammed, and the retail DCA buying with mums and dads, they're going to get scammed too, so BlackRock can accumulate more power? So we're still going to take this month by month. We have not made our complete decision up, but this is why I tell you every single day, can you get a second job? Can you do a garage sale? Can you work more extra hours? Do you have extra any savings to dip in? Can you sell your second car? Can you downgrade? Can you do anything in your power to increase your positions to buy in the depression more, because I'm telling you right now, what we think is euphoria prices, trust me, there's going to be euphoria emotions, but it might not be the prices we expect. $85,000 Bitcoin, it never hits 100K. $8,500 Ethereum, it never hits $10,000. What if Hex doesn't hit even 40 cents? What if it stops at 20 cents EHEX and PHEX each? What if Chainlink doesn't go to 55 bucks or beyond that? What if it stays at around $50? All these things, they are unspeakable to everybody, but if you're prepared, you're going to make it. You are my kind baby doll baby cake. You are a high protein chocolate shake. Like, subscribe, bell button, and I'll catch you in the next one.